Hello, Aluxers. Here's an interesting observation about life. Unless you're winning, most of life will seem hideously unfair to you. We've been thinking about this a lot more recently, about how unfair things are in life and how to thrive despite all of it. These are all concepts and ideas one needs to face if they plan on taking the world as it is, not as one would like it to be. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. The person who navigates in reality will always outperform the one acting on wishful thinking. So with this setting the stage, here are 15 unfair things in life and how to overcome them. Number 1. Some people are born rich. Yes, some people are born into wealth. They grow up with a silver spoon in their mouth. They never had to worry about money or material problems the same way you and I did, and it's okay. Growing up poor, we always looked up to the haves with envy. Why do they get to enjoy life on easy mode while we're here scraping by? Many of you probably relate to this situation, but as we progressed into our own journey, we realized that this is actually the goal in life for any parent, to give your child a better life than you had. If you worked hard in life to make your family's life better, why do we feel this way about children born into money and wealth? Don't we all want the same advantages that come with wealth for our own offspring? The way you educate and raise your children afterward depends on each one of you and your own sets of values. It takes time to become comfortable with the idea that you have your own journey in life, and the only benchmark one should ever set for themselves relates to the things you have under your control. Number 2. Some people are born with a natural talent. And that's okay. Maybe you weren't born with a golden voice or with some mainstream talent that you can leverage on to jumpstart your dream life. Or maybe you just haven't found that one thing you're a lot better at than everyone else. Your talent might not be as easy to pinpoint as one would do with a naturally talented painter or a singer. But you know how many people are born with a great voice, with an eye for colors, or with a generally creative mind? A lot. Do you know how many of them end up making a living based on their natural talent? So very few. Talent is just a gate keeping way to refer to things that you enjoy, so much so that you develop those skills faster than everyone else. If you think you have no natural talent, it just means you don't take enough time to try all of the things available and find one you enjoy doing. This is why the idea of talent and passion go hand in hand. We found our talent in numbers and business. We genuinely enjoy solving business puzzles. What for others might look like hard work, for those who found their interest, it feels like play, like a personal challenge. Here's one thing to remember if you feel like people with natural talent have a better shot at success than you do. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard enough. Number 3. Some people are born better looking or taller than you. People always say you should never judge a book by its cover, but that's exactly what covers are for. A lot of time goes into planning, designing, and thinking of the best possible cover to present to the world. Society, as we've built it right now, is pretty much a popularity contest, and most of us, in ways we are not entirely aware of, automatically associate leadership ability with imposing physical stature. That's why 80% of male CEOs are over 6 feet tall. It's one of those things that works to your advantage if you have it. Better-looking people statistically earn more than ugly people. It's just a fact. Fortunately for you and all of us, times are changing thanks to technology. Just take the top 10 richest people in the world right now, and you'll see that although on the macro level these discrepancies still apply, at the very top it's a simple technological meritocracy. Not to throw shade on Mark Zuckerberg or anything, but he's not exactly the Prince Charming girls dream about. Same goes for everyone else. Looks matter if the only differentiator you have is your physical appearance. The way to overcome this bias is to simply become so good at what you do that the looks aspect is eclipsed by your true ability. Number 4. Some people are born in a better country than you. You don't choose your parents or the country you're born in. This is where your success in life, or better said, the likelihood of breaking out of the hardships you're born into, goes straight to luck. Being born in New Zealand or Norway, for example, offers you a better shot at a fulfilling life than being born in Nepal or Zambia. But even here, times are changing. Business and work opportunities have been democratized by technology. As long as you have the minimum access to the internet and the ability to understand English, you have access to the same information as everyone else. People from everywhere around the world are consuming this exact piece of content at the same time you are right now. In terms of location, one should always try to move to the place that offers the most opportunities to live the life they wish to live. You may not be able to choose the country you're born in, but you most certainly can choose the one you want to die in. Number 5. Some people have access to better teachers and mentors. This one's a hybrid between our own actions and sheer luck. Take our content, for example. One day you happen to discover one of our videos and hopefully something clicked right for you, and you've been with us ever since. Same goes for all of your other sources of inspiration. Teachers and mentors usually restrict the number of people they're able to focus their attention on to a limited amount, which leaves the window of opportunity of being in that select group to timing, skill set, location, and, as we said before, sheer luck. This is one of the reasons why we built Alux as a platform to share on a massive scale the same type of insights that you would get from a mentor. Another unfair aspect of life are the barriers of entry to high-quality knowledge. People spend $10,000 to $15,000 for a weekend seminar with Tony Robbins or Gary Vee, where they basically tell you to stop being lazy and find the thing you're good at. In our opinion, basic knowledge should be free, and specialized knowledge should be affordable. This is the reason why we developed our e-learning arm. Take Mind Mastery, for example. A session with a high-level business meditation teacher ranges from $150 to over $1,000. Through the use of technology and scale, we are offering a 21-day experience tailored with the Aluxer in mind, for less than what one of these experts would charge for one sit-down. In addition to that, if you go through the entire course and at the end you believe you didn't get your money's worth, we'll give you all of your money back in our 60-day guarantee. This is what in gambling is called a free roll. Go to Alux.com/meditation right now and enroll in the course. You have nothing to lose. Worst case scenario, you get all your money back, so it's a no-brainer. Number 6. Some doors open only for the people who are already in the hallway. If you're not already in the hallway, you're probably not going to get in. Although sometimes you might be better qualified for an opportunity, if you don't position yourself correctly, you won't be able to take advantage of the opportunities coming your way. Or to put it differently, you can't score a goal as a spectator, you have to be on the field. The unfair part of it all is that sometimes you don't know which hallway you need to wait in. The takeaway from this situation is you need to be aware of existing opportunities and how you should prepare yourself if you want to have access to them. Number 7. You get rewards based on results, not effort or intent. We have this tendency to judge others by their actions and ourselves based on our intent. Reality doesn't work like that. Here's a brutal truth some of you probably need to hear. Just because you worked more on something than someone else, it doesn't mean your result is superior. Outcome is the name of the game, and society will always reward solutions versus attempts. In the real world, there are no participation trophies. You either get the job done and get paid, or you're left with a subpar attempt. Number 8. Bad people sometimes get away with doing bad things. Life isn't a fairy tale where good always defeats evil. We wish it was like that, but it's not. Sometimes evil people get away with their evil, or at least they don't get punished in proportion to their crimes. Nobody has a magic formula of ridding the world of evil, but the best thing one can do is to keep themselves as far away from it as possible. Do not partake or engage with evil, because if you do, you'll become evil yourself. Be a shining bright light for those who seem to be needing your guiding light, and by doing so, there'll be just a little less darkness than there was before. Number 9. 2/3 of your adult life you're either working or asleep. Did you feel how fast this year went? It flew away in a blink of an eye. Here's a golden nugget that usually takes years for people to realize. Time accelerates or slows down based on the number of inputs you're experiencing. When you were a child playing outside with your friend, the day was long. You didn't have as many inputs as you have right now. As an adult, you're juggling work, bills, your own needs, your family's needs, your goals, your liabilities, and more. We're just overstimulated. The average person will sleep 8 hours a night and spend another 8 hours at work doing boring, repetitive tasks. That leaves you with just another 8 hours to be an individual. And even then, you have to cut out the time you need to spend eating, pooping, or in transit. The unfair part is that this combo society has been built on isn't congruent with the notion of discovering oneself, pursuing passions, and living in the moment, for there's always something you still have to do that's causing you stress. A couple of days ago, we published a really interesting video on how to be less stressed, which you can check out by clicking in the top right corner. We know it's definitely going to help some of you. Number 10. Life is a competition. Despite what everyone was telling you when you were growing up, life is actually a competition. You're competing for everything. You're competing for a life partner, you're competing for a job opportunity, you're competing for clients. Everyone's competing with multiple other players at any given time. There are 3 separate things one should consider. 1. Winner takes all rewards. These are when more people are competing for the same reward and only one can be a winner. These are called zero-sum games. If there's only one open position for a manager and you've got the promotion, someone else failed in getting it. If you take the last slice of pizza available, someone else doesn't get any more pizza. Many situations in life are zero-sum games, and these are the literal definition of competition. But not always. 2. Creating value. These are when you're able to take current reality and, through creativity, you're increasing the value. Lemons are a classic example. The price of one lemon is a couple of cents. Take those lemons, squeeze them, add water and sugar, and voila! Through your creative work, you can now sell lemonade for $2. In this situation, you're competing with other creatives, such as yourself, who are able to create the most value. And lastly, 3. Personal high score. Here, you're competing with yourself. This is our favorite type of conquest because no matter what happens, you can come out ahead. An individual competes every day on all 3 of these, either knowingly or completely obliviously. One of the most valuable videos we've ever created is called 15 Rules to Win at Life, which we cannot recommend enough. Click in the top right corner to watch it because it'll provide you with a valuable insight on how to navigate life. Number 11. Your soulmate might be on the other side of the planet and you'll settle for what's available. Although we use the soulmate example, we actually have a broader stance on this issue, which is summarized as follows. You get what you settle for. This is one of those essential things about life that people find out the hard way. The unfair part comes from things you can't control. You can't control where someone is born or how they feel. The reality of life is that sometimes people who you fall in love with might not love you back, and you just have to deal with it and grow as a person. Number 12. Most people never pursue their calling. Most people will never know what their true potential is. Here's a hypothetical situation for you. When you die, you get to meet the person you could have become and see the kind of life they lived. If you're close to it, you end up in heaven. If you're far away from it, you'll spend your entire life in a fictitious hell, realizing just how much you missed in life just because you didn't give it your all. The unfair part of things in this case is circumstantial. Many people see pursuing your calling as a luxury that they cannot grasp because the chains on their current reality are holding them back. And for some people, that's true. Pursuing one's calling usually comes with tremendous sacrifice and insecurity. You might end up worse off because of it, and your chances are slim to begin with. This is the main reason why many people settle for safe mediocrity. Now all you have to do is look around at your peers. Is this what you want from life? If yes, settle for it. I'd rather risk it all than play it safe. Number 13. Rewards in life come based on the number of people impacted, not effort or quality. You might have wrote the best book that's ever been written. You might have created the most amazing song ever to be sung. You might be the greatest painter to ever pick up a brush. If people don't consume what you create, you don't get the reward cookie. When most people think of massive success, they believe it's a hit or miss type of situation, that you have to hit it big, and we all know how difficult that can be. The truth is, success is the result of consistency. You get 10 happy customers, they bring 5 more, then 30, then 50, then 150, and so on. This erroneous belief has been shaped by the idea of virality, especially surrounding social media. But how many of you know what the damn Daniel kid is doing these days? What about Charlie bit my finger or leave Britney alone? Even if you go viral, this doesn't mean anything unless you're able to capitalize on the new attention. Ideally, you want to build a solid base, then use the viral moment just to jump to the next level. Number 14. Life is a maze, not a marathon. Marathons imply linearity, or that everyone is running the same race. It's true if all you're basing this on are natural events like your birth or death, but everything else is up for grabs, which is why we prefer to think of life as a maze with multiple paths. The unfair part about this is when some people believe the path they took is the only one worth pursuing. That's when you get your parents forcing you to go in their footsteps or live a boring but safe life. If you enter the maze, you might as well explore it, right? See what life has in store for you. Number 15. Cancer and other illnesses. The last point on our list of unfair things in life is once again outside of our control. As many of you probably heard, Chadwick Boseman, the American actor who played Black Panther, recently died of colon cancer at the age of 43, and some might say in the prime of his career. This is a man who made it. He escaped the race. He got the money. He got the fame. People looked up to him. Many of you have similar goals for yourself. How cruel and unfair is that? By no fault of your own, some genes in your body could mutate, and all of your future could be taken away from you. How do you cope with that? We wish we knew the answer. Until we reach a point where technology can fix this through either more advanced medicine or simply backing up your soul, whatever that is, into a machine, we all have to live with the idea that everything could be taken away from you. That's what they meant when they said, live today like it were your last. We have to embrace the miracle that life is, that you're watching or listening to this right now. The beautiful colors around you, the food you had today, the sound of laughter coming from your loved ones and their warm embrace. Although life can be unfair, as long as you live it with gratitude and do your best to enjoy the ride, you won't waste your life living in vain. That's a pretty beautiful note to end on, which brings us to today's question. What about your current life seems unfair? We know there are more things worth adding to this list, so we're passing it on to you. Let's see what you've got in the comments. And as for those still watching, here's your bonus piece. Life might ask you to dance, but you pick the song. When it comes to the unfairness in life, one should learn not to allow it to be a dominant variable. It doesn't matter if life is fair or unfair in the moment, you can't change the rules. So you have to dance to the tune that's currently playing until you figure out a way to pick the next song yourself. To speak in terms less figuratively, find a way to change your environment, your setting, even yourself until life becomes predictable, but not in the way most people think. You want your life to be predictable from the perspective of how strong your household is. If the storm comes, you'll be fine. That's good predictability. Predictable also means you understand your own value and are able to translate it into the marketplace. If I were to throw myself into this project fully, then this is what I would be able to achieve, and then you do that and prove yourself correct. That's how people become confident, proving yourself right again and again. That's how people become masters of their own destinies, keeper of the pen that's writing the next page. Ask yourself, what kind of story do you wish to write for yourself? One where you lived a life crumbled by the unfairness of it all, or one where, despite it, you made for one hell of a story? We hope you choose the latter, dear Aluxer, and that life in the next few years keeps getting better because of it.